If you feel like your ends are constantly straggly, like you can't get any volume and like everything you do to your hair just doesn't work out, trust me, I have been there. If you are new here, my name is Gabby and I have been a makeup and hairstylist for 17 years. And believe it or not, I also have fine hair. If you don't believe me, you can see how fine it is in this video. In fact, I even had a hair transplant because I had so much thinning, and you can see that here and here and here. Because I have personally experienced it, I have mastered fine hair techniques, tricks, and tips, and I am so happy to share some of that knowledge with you today. Today we're gonna be talking all about haircuts that people with thin fine hair love. These are haircuts that will literally trick people into thinking that your thin hair is actually thick. But this week, you don't just have to listen to me tell you all about it, because I have an amazing special guest here today, and it is Summer from the channel Styles by Summer. If you guys don't follow her already, I highly suggest that you go check out her channel because her content is amazing. She does cut and color tutorials, product reviews. She also gives tips and tricks on maximizing the potential of fine hair. She has fine hair as well. Welcome to the channel, Summer. I'm just so honored to have you here today.
Hey Gabby, I am so excited to talk hair with you today, and what better topic than cuts? That's right up my alley with all my cutting tutorials, and because we both have fine hair, I am so happy that I can give some insight for cut options that work well with our hair type.
Haircut idea number one is the blunt bob. I'm not kidding when I tell you that the blunt bob will make even the thinnest hair appear significantly thicker. The reason for this is because the shorter you go and the blunter you go, which basically means no layering at all, the heavier the baseline appears. When the baseline of the hair looks dense, the hair in turn looks dense as well. This really is an illusion that tricks the eye into thinking that the hair is much thicker than it actually is. You can get a blunt bob that is even all the way around. You can get a blunt bob that is angled slightly, so it gets a little longer at the front. You can do it without a fringe, or you can do it with a fringe, and there are endless possibilities for the types of fringe that you can choose. You can get bangs that have a little more texture through them, or ones that are a little more blunt. If you've never tried a bob, but you've always been interested in it, maybe this is the year that you take the leap. It really will make your hair look much, much thicker. I guarantee it. One thing that I do want to tell you about this haircut though is that because it's short and it's wide, it does add volume to the face. So if you have a very round face, or you're self-conscious about weight around your chin or your neck or even your cheeks, this probably isn't the right cut for you. If you have a long skinny face, on the other hand, this will give you some really beautiful balance, and it may be exactly what you're looking for.
I love the option of a blunt bob. It is great for all the reasons you just said. A fun twist to that cut is simply just adding in some soft or longer layers. This is a great option for those who love a bob, but maybe you don't want as much weight at the perimeter of your cut, or you want some added movement and texture. It adds just enough movement when adding in curls or when having it straight. You can go in with a texture spray or paste to show off that movement created from those light layers. And I have a tutorial on my channel that I show you guys my favorite way to add in those layers and textures to a bob so that you can get much more movement out of it, but still maintain that fullness in your fine hair at the same time.
The next haircut idea that I have for you is the Bixie. Bixies are trending like crazy right now, and I spoke all about them in my 2023 haircut trends video. The reason it is called a Bixie is because it sits in between a bob and a pixie. This is a super cool haircut because it's very current and it really embraces all of that layering, the edginess, and the texture that we're seeing in modern day hair cutting. It is super, super trendy right now. You can go a little longer with this and rock like a short shag style, or you can have one side longer than the other and and wear it as an asymmetrical style. You can do an undercut where you shave some of it and have the longer hair lay over it. This is literally one of my all-time favorite haircuts of the moment. And I really wish that I had the right texture and the right face shape to pull it off, because this 100% would be the haircut that I'd be rocking in 2023 if I could guarantee that it was gonna work for me. What's your next suggestion, Summer?
Oh my gosh, Gabby, I love Bixies. They really are so fun and so edgy. Another cut option though that is great for those not wanting the plunge of a Bixie or as edgy is a shoulder one length cut with either a full or side swept bang. Leaving it one length in the back is going to allow you to maintain as much thickness as you naturally have, but a bang is an amazing way to change up your whole entire look. Bangs can actually make your hair look thicker, and it can make you look younger, giving you a more youthful appearance with a side bonus of hiding any wrinkles that you may be bothered by. I love the way that bangs look when the rest of the hair is pulled back. It just adds such a nice contrast and a fun look to one's overall style. You can also add in some minimal face framing as well if you want a little bit more movement to this style. And at the shoulder length, you still have that option to add in some curls as well. I have a tutorial on this cut and I walk you through exactly how to add in face framing layers while not removing too much of the thickness that someone with finer, thinner hair might want to keep.
Summer, I love that option because you are still keeping length if you want length, but you're adding like a ton of visual interest to the hair at the front. Another longer idea that is fantastic for fine hair is a lob or a mid-length cut. A mid-length cut is really versatile because it gives you the thickness illusion of shorter hair, the styling flexibility of longer hair, all while being very polished. You can do this in a blunt way if you want, or with soft layers. It's the longer version of the bob we spoke about before. So if you want a bob, but you're not really ready to commit to it yet, or you've had long hair your whole life and you're scared, try this instead. Try this variation out. I think you might really, really enjoy it, and it's not as shocking as going from long right to short. Summer, what else do you have in store for us?
So my last suggestion is a little out of the box for finer, thin hair, but I am so obsessed with the butterfly cut. For finer, thinner hair, this cut does need to be modified, but if done right, it can be a total game changer. And I recently took the plunge myself and I got this cut, and I feel like I am living my best life. Now, warning though, even with it modified to fit your hair density, this cut will not leave you with as much fullness at your perimeter as the other cuts mentioned because of the layers added in, but it will help to give you so much more volume and height at your root, which I know is a constant struggle with fine hair. I have a cutting tutorial playlist that has cuts specifically geared towards finer hair, where I modify the cut to give movement like a butterfly cut, but also not compromise the natural density as much. So it's definitely worth checking out to get some more ideas if this type of cut is something that you would like with your finer, thinner hair.
Let us know if any of these inspired your next big haircut. We'll be hanging out in the comment section today to chat with you about it and answer any questions that you may have. So if you want to communicate with us, do it in the comments section, guys. We're going to be there today. Summer and I did another video on her channel all about the best hot tools that we've discovered for fine hair, and there are some on there that are literally going to be life-changing for you. So go and check that one out next. This video is over.